Alright everyone, we are back with a new video on the 5 things that are destroying your physique. Apologies about the spelling error. But here's 5 things that I wish I knew when it came to building my physique that potentially fucks it up. And I'm going to share it with you right now. So number 1 is not tracking way you eat. Wow, yeah, sorry. I need to work on my spelling here. But not tracking what you eat is the number 1. And for some reason, people still don't do it. And I don't get it. It's like you want to get to where you want to, but you're not willing to do the things that you need to do. You know you need to do. Everyone knows they need to track their calories because, listen, guesswork will only get you so far. You might get to your destination. There's no doubt. Put it this way. Say you're trying to fucking get a boat to Spain. You know, you might get there eventually, but if you had a map and you had a sat nav, you'd get there pretty quickly. You know what I'm saying? And it's the exact same thing with tracking calories. Like, if you want to get to your goal as quick as possible, you need to know what you're putting in your body. You need to know how many calories you're eating, how much protein you're getting. I think people think it's like a flex. Oh no, I don't track my calories. It's like, oh, I think it's so unhealthy to track your calories. No, what's unhealthy is staying in the same place for fucking 5 years upon end because you can't take 5 minutes out of your day to track your calories. It's not that hard. Like, if you want something bad enough, you'll do it. And I'm telling you right now, the minute I did this, I changed fucking everything. So start tracking what you eat and everything becomes a lot easier. Because what are the chances are that you're not getting enough protein or enough calories to actually gain weight in the first place? You know, most people go, oh, I've got a fast metabolism, I'm not gaining weight. Motherfucker, you're not even eating enough and you don't know what you're eating because you're not tracking your calories. And the only reason I'm saying this is because this is what I wish I said to myself. I'm speaking to myself in an aggressive manner because I went for 3 years just thinking, oh, I don't need to track my calories. You are so wrong. You got to do it for a point, and then eventually you get good at it, and then you can eye weigh. I don't have to track my calories anymore because I can tell roughly what things are by looking at it. I still do track my calories because I enjoy finding out what I'm eating and making sure that I'm on track consistently. But it's really, really important to understand that if you're going to get to where you want to. Protein is going to be something you're going to notice that you're not getting enough of, and it's also going to be calories. So I think the first thing you can do, a little exercise, is just track what you've eaten today. Just put it in. Starts with awareness. Awareness then instills change, and then you can start to take action from there. What you'll become aware of is that you're probably not eating enough of protein or calories, so you need to make a change. And all it took was watching this video and spending 2 minutes just download MyFitnessPal and track what you eat. So that's the most important thing. Now, you can get away with it if you're bulking. There's another excuse that people make. You know, as long as I eat loads, it's fine. But then what happens when you cut? When you cut, you need to be meticulous. You need to make sure you're in a calorie deficit. And you're just making it a lot harder for yourself if you don't track it, especially when it comes to getting a high amount of protein with such a low amount of calories. Everything needs to be tracked. So unless, you know, you can eye weigh everything without tracking, you're missing a trick there. So that's number 1. Number 2 is not tracking what you lift. How can you consistently improve if you don't know what you lifted last week? If I bench 100 kg this week and I don't write down how many sets and reps I did, what are the chances I do 100 kg for the same reps again? You know, if I have a clear kind of note down that I did 100 kg for 8, I will make sure next week I do at least 100 kg for 9. As long as I keep doing that, I know I'm consistently getting better. But that comes with building a system, downloading an application to actually make sure you're doing it. Because again, I can see where the obstruction and, you know, the resistance is going to come here. Oh, I remember what I lifted and all this. It's like, maybe you do, and good for you if you do. But why not just take away the brain power and just put it into an app or log it, and then just focus all your energy on lifting? You know, one, that will just make life a lot easier. But 2, you might have a photographic memory for all I know, but the chances are you will forget one day. And if you have a week where you do the exact same thing as you did last week and you do that over and over again, you can't expect any difference in your muscle growth, and it's all because you didn't have a system in place to track what you lift. That's the most important thing. As long as you can see what you did last week and you keep increasing, then you keep getting stronger, and if you keep getting stronger, you keep getting bigger. It's not that hard. And one other thing which people don't really talk about is the motivation. If you can see visible progress, you know, tangible progress in your hand, that I did 60 kg last week and now this week I do 70, you get motivated. It's like a game. It's like, okay, well, I've completed this weight, let's go on to the next one, and you can see a clear record, clear graph of you getting stronger. It's really important, and I think if you're not tracking what you lift as well, you're missing another trick. So I'm saying this to myself because when I started tracking my lifting and I started tracking my calories, everything changed. So make sure you're doing both of them. Number 3, not getting enough sleep. I learned this recently, but I'll break it down for you. When does muscle actually grow? Think about it. When does it grow? Not when you fucking eat. Not when you make your coffee. Not when you go to the gym. When does it grow? When you sleep. Only when you sleep. So if we want maximum growth, because everyone wants the most muscle, why do we limit the one thing that actually ensures it? Why do we just think it's like, oh, well, let's just spend 3 more hours in the gym and then we can get 5 hours sleep and it'll be fine. What the fuck? Like, you might as well not do the gym session and sleep. It's kind of, it's hard to get your head round, right? But once you understand it and you start to track it, because I had a Whoop band, which basically showed me everything about our recovery. And once I started sleeping with the highest quality, everything changed. My muscle was growing fucking way faster. Why? Because I actually let them recover and let them grow. Understand that you spend around 20% of your time of your sleep in a deep sleep range. This is when, you know, your heart rate is low enough so your muscle can be built. If you have shit sleep quality or you don't get enough sleep, you don't get enough deep sleep, and as a result it takes longer for you to build muscle. That's why a lot of people plateau, because everyone thinks it's okay to get 5-6 hours. It's like a flex almost, like, oh yeah, I can get by in 5-6 hours. Like, motherfucker, like, I'll get 8 and like I'll just be way more productive. Like I used to do it, be thinking I'm sick because, oh, I'll get 6 hours sleep, but like you're not, you're just slow. And you don't grow as much muscle. Like 8 hours of sleep is a must. Fuck what anyone says. And before anyone goes in the comments, oh, I've got a fucking busy evening and all of this, I've got 2 jobs and I can't do this. You can speed things up and make sure that you're getting more sleep. You know, 7 at a minimum, but there's always a choice. And if, you know, I'm just trying to shift your mindset here to understand that it's a priority. If you prioritize something, then it will happen. You know, everyone can get 8 hours sleep if they start prioritizing it, sacrificing the things that do not matter. You know, 2 hours of Netflix, not fucking necessary, just go to sleep and make sure you do that, and then as a result you grow your physique a lot quicker. Number 4, dirty bulking and getting too many calories in. Again, I propose the question, ask yourself, does this increase muscle mass or does this add more fat? Dirty bulking. Now, it can go both ways. So you need a certain amount of calories to help your body gain extra mass, you know, extra muscle mass. So there's no doubt that the calorie surplus is good, and you can dirty bulk to get there. However, if no one follows step 1 and tracks their calories, they're going to go way over, and fat gain is definitely going to happen. And the other thing, if you dirty bulk, a lot of these foods are not very high in protein, which means you then have to go over the calorie range to get more protein. And they're kind of designed to keep you less satiated, so you overeat. It's how all fast food works. So it's not the right method if you are trying to add on lean muscle mass, because there is a time. Let's say you need 3,000 calories to maintain your current weight. 3,500 at most is the optimum point. That's all you need in terms of extra calories. Going over will help you progress because you'll see your weight gain, but that's just fat. All right, the muscle growth is slow. It takes time. You have to master the recovery. You have to master the intensity and the surplus. But dirty bulking is not the way to go. You're also going to feel shit as well. So the point I'm trying to make is, don't think that you need 5,000 calories to gain muscle. No, you don't. You just need 500 calories above your maintenance calories, and then you will gain muscle. It's that simple. Dirty bulking is just as a lie you get sold, because you start to gain more weight and you start to look chunkier, but it's just fucking fat that you then need to cut off. And then when you cut it off, you're going to be in a state where it's harder to grow muscle, and it's like going in circles, because then you cut the fat off and then you do it again and then you go back and do it again. What's better is to do the bulk lean, eat proper food, and then, yes, the muscle growth is a little bit slower, but you don't gain fat, and then you only have to do a small cut. It's the fastest way to get there. You know, there's plenty of ways to get there, but that's the fastest, most efficient way. So that's number 4. Number 5. Now, this won't apply to everyone, but this is a good one. Not doing cardio to offset alcohol, or weekend degeneracy, if you will. Now, for some reason, I don't know why, we all just pretend alcohol calories do not exist. I still do this, so I'm guilty for it. But we all know that's the reason why we gain extra fat, and that's why the physique is not where it needs to be. Because most people like to go out and have drinks with their mates. 5, 6, 7 pints of beer equals around what, 1,500 calories. But we just forget about it. Think it doesn't exist, and it's not the right way to go about it. I always say, live and die by the sword. If you're going to go out drinking, make sure that you're not just sweeping under the carpet. You're being really aware of it and understanding, right, I'm going to drink 1,500 calories worth of alcohol. Therefore, these 1,500 calories need to fuck off somehow. So how do we do it? Either we reduce our calorie intake for 1,500 for the day, which I wouldn't really advise because then you're pretty hungry. You could do it. You could divide 1,500 by 7, which would be like 207 calories per day, so you reduce your intake by that. Or you could do cardio to offset it, so you'd have to burn 1,500 calories, which would be like a 15k run. So like 2 5ks the next week, something like that. Whatever it is, the point is, don't pretend that they do not exist. They fucking do. And I gained a lot of fat until I realised that this was the case. Simple solution, do cardio. Live and die by the sword. You reap what you sow. If you're going to drink, you're going to gain fat. If you don't want to gain the fat, make sure you fucking do the cardio, or you plan ahead and bank the calories. But those are the 5 things that I kind of wish I knew, which destroyed my physique almost. And will destroy your physique if you don't listen and take fucking notes. So I hope that was useful. That's today's video. For anyone who's needing extra support, feel free to DM me on Instagram, drop a comment. Get back to me with whatever you need. But that's all for today. I will see you on the next one.